don't need that on. I'm watching a show called Under Arrest. It's basically like it's the equivalent to Canadian Cops, but I've noticed that when everything is going the way of the criminals liking until the RCMP shows up. If it's just the provincial police, not a problem. But if it's the RCMP that shows up, somebody's getting hurt. So I'll wait till we get a few people in here. Hopefully the audio works. I've got the Rode lavalier mic on. I gotta get some more coffee. That's what I need. So kind of impromptu. Didn't tell anybody I was going to do this because I didn't know what time I was going to wake up. But it is my day off, so let's go in here and get a little bit more coffee. I have to be quiet because, well, everyone's asleep. So I wanted to talk a little bit about benchmade because I saw how much they're charging for this new 25th anniversary McHenry version, the first knife that ever had the axis lock. And I thought, oh, well, cool. Maybe they're going to do something new. Maybe, you know, modify the axis lock, make it better so it's not shitty. And I was wrong. I was wrong. It's just a re-release of the original 25 years ago, the knife that had the axis lock in it. I'm having my morning coffee, by the way. Drop a like if you guys are here. I see there's 5 of you here. What's up, Drinkwater? I don't have my reading glasses on yet. They're maybe in my pocket. I don't know. I'm really close to the phone, so I can't read the comments very well. So if I miss one, I apologize. Let me make sure that I've got the settings for the... Let me see here. I want to make sure I get the set. They've changed so many things on here. I want to make sure I have the settings for the chat set up so that I can see all of the chat. Let me see here, chat settings. Yeah, see, it's set for top chat. There we go. What you about? Like I said, so Benchmade releases this knife, and I can't remember, was it the 710, 740, something like that? And fucking thing's like 600 goddamn dollars. And I'm like, first of all, what the fuck are you thinking, Benchmade? Who needs that much for a Benchmade? Who's going to spend that much on a Benchmade? I have one Benchmade in my collection. I have one Benchmade. It's right here. You know the only thing I ever use this fucking thing for? Size comparisons, because everybody knows what the 940 looks like. So 940. What's up, budget knife guy? Hey, so everybody knows the 940 for size comparison because it's like one of the most well-known knives out there because, well, Benchmade's made it forever. And it's not a bad knife. Don't get me wrong. Well, it's not a good knife, but it's also not a bad knife. So they released this one like $610 or some shit. And I thought that they were going to modify in some fashion the axis lock. And they didn't. It's the same old school, like Omega style springs with sheeps. And I wouldn't have known this because I had heard that it had an impingement system. An impingement spring system. But it doesn't, because I watched the video. I don't watch his stuff very often because not to sound like an asshole, but I think he's a fucking idiot sometimes. Cutting board knife reviews, but he every once in a while, you know, a fucking blind dog can find a bone. He like took pictures of it, and you can see it's not the. It's basically the same old original axis lock, and I'm like, why can't they learn? The axis lock is horrible from Benchmade. Every other company that does an axis style crossbar lock does it better. What's with the hype anyway? I've been carrying the bug out daily for almost 3 years. Haven't needed or wanted another EDC. Maybe, I mean, don't get me wrong. If you like Benchmade knives, that's fine. I'm just saying their prices have gone. Well, you know the quote from Tropic Thunder. You know what I'm going to say. They've gone full. Id. That's basically what it is. So there's a couple companies that are doing a crossbar style like lock. Like I love this axe, the ram lock from Microtech, which ostensibly is the best version of the Axis lock. And the thing is that Benchmade did it once. They did it once. They did this style lock with the plunger spring. It was on the Anthem, which was a $700 knife that shouldn't have cost more than $300. What's up, Brant? I haven't seen you for a while. So the problem is their knives aren't worth what they're charging for. And people will argue with me like, no, Benchmade's great. Benchmade's great. And I'm like, you are out of your mind. Their price is ridiculous. Their quality control is in the toilet. It's a company I will never buy a knife from. The only Benchmade I have was given to me as a gift. That Benchmade 940 I have was given to me as a gift, and I had a new blade put in it. As a matter of fact, I have two blades for it. I have a S90V blade that's in it right now, and then in a case, I have the original S30V blade because the S30V blade kept fucking chipping because, well, S30V sucks and Benchmade refuses to stop using it. And the fact is, everybody's like, well, you have that in all your videos. It's because so many people know it. But the fact is, the only reason that this knife has that action is because the pivot's loose. If I tighten the pivot to where the pivot should be to prevent lock rock, blade play, things like that, you have to use two hands to open it. It's garbage. I tightened the pivot down on this just to test to see. I tightened it down as tight as I could get it. You can hear there's a little bit of tightness in those pivot or in the bearings, but that's the action you get still. I'm like, Benchmade, figure your shit out. And the fact is, they're charging you how much is it? I gotta see. It's new Benchmade. Oh, I got a missed call. They may have been calling to try and get me come to work because I turned my other phone off when I'm sleeping. We've been having a hard time. But yeah, Benchmade is just losing the plot. They've lost the plot when it comes to their pricing structure. Let's see here. Benchmade. What is it? Is it the 710? Benchmade actually, some of their steels are questionable, but I gotta say, like I've had a couple of their knives that were in what, M4? No, yeah, maybe M4, and I've had a couple of their knives that were in M390, and they seem to have done a good heat treat with that. Let me see. Benchmade. Is this the 710? Is that the new McHenry? I mean, it's the 25th anniversary. This video is... Oh, we can show that one. Yeah, Benchmade has a vagina. What is it? Is the 710? Yeah, that's what it is. So this is it's just $600. It says on here, no thanks. No thanks. I don't want to sign up for shit from you guys. 710, they only have one left. That means that somebody bought them out. They are, here, look at this. $600, only one left. And it's just, there's a lot of stuff on my workbench, including some whiskey. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. It's my day off. I just can't drink yet because technically it's still morning for me. Saturn has 146 moons. You know what, Meow Meow? You're like the guy from yeah, it's... Hey, I mean, if you have a knife that works for you, that's fine. I'm just saying you could have got ostensibly a better knife than the Bug Out for a cheaper price. Just saying. A case in point, if you're one to only buy American, I get it. But if you want something that's a nice little light duty knife that cuts really well, has an Axis lock, and fucking actually is a decent knife instead of most of the benchmade stuff. This is one of my most recommended knives. This is the Mini Nightshade. Yes, it's a Chinese-made knife. If you're looking for an American-made knife, this might be off. If you won't buy a Chinese-made knife, this is off the plate for you. But at $60, this is better than the Bug Out. It's better construction. The lock is better. The blade steel is in 14C28N, and I absolutely, here, I'll turn it around for you. I absolutely love this knife, and I think this beats the Bug Out on all fronts because the way it's built and the way it angles into the cut. And it has the smoothest crossbar axis style lock I've ever seen, and there's no blade play in that. Plus 14C is a really, really good steel. I have a bunch of the Vosteed stuff now. They sent me 2 more knives. I have this one that is still getting... This is still in the review process. I'm still, like, I like this knife a lot, but I'm still, like, not 100% sure how much I like it, so that's why you haven't seen the full review. So... I got it from a trade show at their booth. Like I said, it was a spur of the moment because, yeah, I mean, there's some people, like, I know a lot of guys that they have one knife. I've got literally hundreds of knives, but that's because that's what the channel is. It's a review channel. If you guys, there's 19 of you here and you haven't dropped a like, that really does help. And if you don't want to drop a like, well, that's fine too. But I forget what I was getting ready to say. I forget what I was getting ready to say. So anyway, we've done a couple of these since I started the new job. The new job is good. I enjoy the new job. I like working nights because there's fucking no one there. There's no people. So working nights for me is absolutely a bonus because I don't like people. And, you know, if my kid is starting college, as soon as I heard knife talk, thanks to algorithm. How's the audio, by the way? I'm using the lavalier mic. I've got it all set up, so does it sound good? Can you guys hear me really well? So Griptilian, the whole thing is, the Griptilian is pretty good, but the fact is, you can get the Hogue Ritter, which is a better knife, better constructed, almost identical to the Griptilian. And it's another American-made company, and it's not going to... The Griptilian is still expensive for what it is. It's more expensive than... you know what we should do? Let's get ourselves... It's you know, it's late enough in the day. I went to Jack in the Box last night for lunch. 2 o'clock in the morning. We give us put a little Irish in our coffee. It's not actually Irish, it's rye. But the Hogue Ritter is just, it's a better knife. It really, really is. So, sounds good? Good, the audio's good. This is a coffee called Almond Afterlife. Winston Cobretti, one of the paying members, sent it to me with a bunch of stuff. There's some stuff that came in we're going to talk about. I shot a video about this last night. This is that new little mini bit driver that Olight sent, or that Olight makes now, where the bits are like inside. It's got some potential. Any knife sharpening tips? Kyle, I've done a lot of knife sharpening videos. If you find the channel, if you go back through my... Ooh, sorry, I didn't mean to hit the microphone. If you go back through my videos, I've got a ton of sharpening videos, just dedicated sharpening videos that you can use for tips. Best tip is just don't start on your expensive knives. Don't try to start on recurves, and teach yourself and work your way up into doing some good stuff. I put more whiskey in that coffee than I thought. Either that or I didn't stir it good. I didn't stir it at all. So yeah, there's just I have like 3,000 videos on this channel, and a lot of them back in the day, the original videos, a lot of them were sharpening videos. Like I would just sit down to start sharpening. You know what always gets me is, like, you can only see that big scar on my face when I do these live feeds. Like, I don't know if it's just the way that this camera, when I do the front-facing camera, it's only the front-facing camera. It's only this camera that picks that scar up so clearly. I don't know what. I got a big scar on my face. Chicks dig scars. That's a lot of guys are like, fuck, I bet Emler's a pussy. And my friends that were like, bro, that dude used to bar fight for a hobby. Like that was his fun. It is to me. Like I can really, like it depends on the light, but you can really see that it starts here and it runs the whole length of my cheekbone, where my face got split open in a fucking fight. That's how it happened. I used to be young and dumb. Yeah, I notice it a lot. And now that you guys are like, now I can't fucking unsee it. Like that's a big fucking scar. But no, back to benchmade because I really fucking like hating on benchmade. So yeah, their new pricing is just I have a feeling that benchmade is going to just price themselves out of the market. I'm on a phone screen. Yeah, I think they're just going to price themselves out of the market. I think that's what's going to happen. And I hate to say it because I used to love benchmade. There was a time back in the day where benchmade, if you were in the military and you got a benchmade knife, like you had the best possible knife you could get. Back in the day, like I remember back in like the 90s, the late 90s, early 2000s, when benchmade was really the pinnacle of American made knives. God, if you got a benchmade, you had to hide that fucking thing. Somebody would steal it. Somebody would steal your benchmade knife if you had one, and it was just it was just it was just an incredibly well-made knife. Their knives are always good. I forget what model it was that everybody wanted. It might have been the 940 or the 710. I don't know. 25 years ago, who knows? Yeah, they've just reached the point where they've banked on their name so well. And then the flip side, like I want to point this out. And if you guys didn't see my video about this knife, you should go watch it. And people like, I've had people comment like, oh, those knives are a status symbol and they're a ripoff. Microtech's knives are leaps and bounds. And I mean hundreds of times better in their quality control, their manufacturing practices, and how well they're doing them. And then when they do their blade and edge grinds, and then how sharp they come, leaps and bounds above benchmade. And the fact is, I'm gonna like you guys have heard me talk about. I love this knife, and it's not that I'm not a Microtech fanboy. I do know that some of their knives have problems, and there have been problems in the past with some of their quality stuff. They had some issues with some things in the past where people were returning knives, but they have always been great for me to deal with. I know the owner of the company personally. I know guys that used to work there personally, and I'm gonna say that this is the Microtech Amphibian. Now, I want you to keep in mind, I have really large hands. This is a 9 3/4 inch knife, or 9 1/4. I can't remember. Almost 9 1/2 inch knife. So I don't want you to be, I got really, really big hands. So it is a big knife. But the fact is that the first Microtech knife I bought was $450, I believe, right? So $450, the first one I ever bought. And when I bought that knife, I believe that the Benchmade 940, their flagship, I believe that knife, I'm gonna sit down on my love seat. I believe that knife at the time was just about $200. Now, that same knife, that same Benchmade 940 is running about $300 for an S90V version. It's running about $350, $360, depending on what website you go to. This is $302, and they have a couple knives that are under $300. So Benchmade's prices have went up and quality has went down. This knife, the quality has not changed. If anything, it has gotten better, and the prices went down. Their prices are under $400. They used to be above $400. Benchmade's prices used to be under $200. Now they're over $600, and their quality's not as good. These are not as good. Well, I got news for you, the Wyatt. I'm immature at any hour. Not so deep carry. It does not have a very deep carry pocket clip. You're right, but it's also a big knife. And I'm a big guy, and so I carry this. I do have a lot of knives that have deeper carry pocket clips. I've gotten to where I do like deep carry pocket clips. This message is held for review. White people love knives. I got news for you. Everybody loves knives. I go to knife shows. It's not just white people. My buddy Adave, 2A Dave, he's not white. He's off-white. He's kind of a brown, like an almond. But I do like deep carry for, if I'm carrying this, I'm going to carry this back towards the seam, like back towards the back. Like, yeah, I can't get it. It wants to say that I'm rotating the camera. I carry it back towards the seam, and then on the fly, I can towards the zipper. What is this? The deep carry pocket clips are good. I'll carry this towards the fly, and then a lot of times I'll carry a knife that has a deeper carry pocket clip on the forward towards where the fly area. This is that new, Jesus. This is that new Vosteed. I can't remember the name of this one. They just sent me this one. It's freaking really, really good EDC knife. So, but yeah, that's been the whole. That's been the whole thing that I've been looking at with benchmade for the last it's just been ridiculous. I like watch their prices and stuff like that. Guys, I'm getting a lot of things that are held for review. Oh, okay. So let's see, JT. Guess what? I can do this. So I'm not gonna have shit like that on my channel, bud. So if that's what you want to do. Oh, come on now. Sorry, I gotta take care of this. There we go. There we go. The baby banters, I do not own a baby banter. I didn't like the banter, so I didn't think. I didn't think I would like the baby banter. He was calling me a racist and telling you guys to unsubscribe from the channel. So I'm like, you know what? I get it. Like fucking, I'm doing this on the shorts feed, so I'm gonna have people that are going to do stuff like that. But the fact is, like, my wife's not white, and my kid's half white, and like I'm not even gonna get into it. I'm not even gonna indulge the stupidity that happens. But we're doing it on the shorts feed because it does bring more people. So, well, that's good because I'm not. Never have been. So, yeah, it's Lou Ballmer. It's not the ankle. So this is the sorry. I was in the military. Guess what? I fucking never gave a fuck what color the hand that was going to pull me out of a fire was. And the fact is that I've formed some of my best friendships in the military. I need to ask my wife when we all get together. I'm the only white guy. So, well, not the only one, but. So this is what did they call this one? I'll show you what the name of it is because I can't ever pronounce it. I can't pronounce it. Cannot pronounce it. Let's turn this around here. This is the Tala. What is that? The Tara Orlis? Yeah, my wife is Japanese. My wife's Japanese. I met my wife while we were in Japan. Had no intention of. Everybody's like, "Oh, you just like Asian chicks." I'm like, "No, I'm just fucking met my wife and she was cool as shit. So I wound up met my wife and I was like, yeah, this works. And once I realized how cool she was, I was like, fuck, I'm done. I'm done. I was dating a chick from, I can't remember if she was from somewhere in the Caribbean. I can't remember where she was from. She was either from, she may have been from the Dominican Republic. I think she was fucking hot, but we weren't getting along at the time. And then I met we were kind of like, we broke up and then I met my wife. We were still on and off dating. What was this? Definitely got a new sub tonight through the shorts feed. Cool. my friends are like, don't fuck with Mike. And they're like, why? And they're like, because he's the only white guy in that entire group of black dudes. So, he did something fucking crazy to get them to hang out with him. That motherfucker's probably the craziest one in the group. At any rate, not to talk about that. So I filmed a video last night. So I'm off on Sunday, Mondays. So it's Monday night here. I don't know where you're at in the world. Where are you guys all at in the world? Let me know where you're from. You might not all be from the States because it is a late night live feed. So at any rate, I did a video. I filmed it last night. I'm going to try and have it up soon. I have to do the edit, which the nice thing is I can do some editing at work, like on my lunch break and stuff like that, if I'm working at 12. So Southern Oregon. Oh, you're in Cali? Yeah, I'm in Cali too. I'm in San Diego. So I did a video of the 5 best knives so far, 2024. I wanted to do it last month, but there were only 3 of us working, so we were working days off and 12s to cover, so everybody at least got 1 day off, and we were covering all the shifts because everybody gets 2 days off, and so I was working like 50 to 60 hours I was working between 52 and 60 hours a week, all last month. And now they hired another guy, so we've got some relief. So I'm actually getting both days off this week and stuff like that. So I got a chance to film last night because I wanted Australia. God, I haven't been. I used to go to my ship when I was in the Navy. The ships from Japan would go to Darwin like every year. I loved Darwin. It's just a crazy enough out in the middle of nowhere wilderness kind of place that you get to meet some really crazy fucking people. So at any rate, I filmed a video of the 5 best knives so far this year, and I was basing it off of what I got first quarter. So the first quarter of 2024, even though it's a little late, but I'll try and keep up. And if you guys are paying members, I still have not gotten the video. I have a knife for giveaway for the first quarter for my paying members, and it's still in the box. I haven't filmed the actual giveaway. I haven't selected who's going to get it, but this is like a $350 QSP that's never had anything really done to it. I'll show it to you guys. In case you guys want to join the paying memberships. And it's just like 32 of you guys. If you haven't dropped a like, I'd appreciate it. The Marines is okay. The Navy's not bad, but if you really want to get the best bang for your buck for joining the military, join the Air Force. We always made fun of them, but good God, they treat their people good. This is the Legatus. This is what I'm giving away to the paying members for this month. This is a really, really good knife. Titanium, carbon fiber. I think this is M390 steel. This is one of the nicest knives that QSP makes. I just don't carry it. I've never carried it. I tested it for a little bit, and I did a little bit of light duty cutting and stuff with it. I just never carry it. I just always forget that I have it, and I'm like, fuck it. It needs a good home where somebody can appreciate it. So one of the paying members is winning that. So, yeah, Air Force is good to the people. I'm trying to get my daughter. What does what even mean? The Air Force puts the Air Force puts so much money into their troops and taking care of their folks that when they go to other bases, the living standards, even at the nicest, so enlisted guys always get the shit and the officers always get nice stuff. Well, the thing is, the thing is that what the Air Force does is they dump all their money into like the facilities for their troops first. Oh yeah, we always joke Marines eat crayons. Well, then I'm going to stop explaining. Um, where are we at here? Let's see here. I don't have my. I got to grab my reading glasses. San Diego's a great city. I just hate all them border problems. Yeah, I don't. I'm not gonna lie. I can walk. I'm not gonna. I'm not even joking. I can walk to the border in 30 minutes. I've done it. This time of night, there's not a lot of taco shops open. I've walked down at 2 o'clock in the morning across the border, right at the crossing, and went across just to get tacos. Fish tacos. They have some really good fish tacos down there. So, um, but yeah, let's see here. Start a war crime, steal these crayons. We're hungry. Uh, so yeah, the whole thing, like I said, Benchmade. I think Benchmade just has reached a point where they've completely lost their mind when it comes to their pricing structure. It's just ridiculous. They uh, they just well, there's a couple places here that are open 24 hours a day. As a matter of fact, when we get done from here, I'm gonna gather up the dog, and the dog and I are gonna go to a taco shop and get some lunch. Corpsman in the Navy, and us eating crayons is better than what they called us when we were salty. Marines love having us around until they're passed out until they passed out on us. Where'd he go? Where'd my dog go? Where's the dog? Hang on. There he is. There he is. Let's go find the dog. Let's turn this on. Nope, that's not the light. So many light switches. What are you doing, buddy? You stayed up all night with me last night, and now you're tired. Huh? He stayed up all night with me last night. So, yeah, for you guys that followed the channel for a long time, there's some stuff that's going on. Darkness. There's some stuff that's going on. So my daughter got accepted into college. If you guys haven't heard that, she's going to UCSD. So it means she's going to stay at home with us because, I literally live at the border, so it's not that big a deal for her to drive. So that's going to save her money. She got a internship already. She hasn't even started college yet. She's got an internship that's going to make her like $23 an hour. Uh, so yeah, they've worn the American made to death. And you know who doesn't? You know who doesn't bank on it? Like they've went so far. There's so many other like if you're gonna buy like don't buy Benchmade. Don't buy Benchmade because don't buy Bitchmade. Um, buy a Spyderco. I had vilified Spyderco for a few years because they had done some stupid things. And most of it was I just don't like Eric. I like Sal. I've talked to Sal at knife shows a few times. I don't like Eric. I didn't like the way he was going with the business. I didn't like what he was doing. I thought he was gonna, I was like, at one time I walked by their table and I was like, they were like, oh, yeah, we will film here. I was like, no, this is just because I'm gonna ask you, how's it feel to ruin your father's company? Shit like that. And I think that he kind of woke up because they're doing stuff a lot better. Like I have said that this PM2 is the best EDC knife, hands down, on the market, period. Like there's knives I like more. There are knives that are better at some things. But the fact is, when you put it all together, this PM2 is the perfect EDC for all around for everything. If you're wanting to carry it for, do I have switchblades? I got a lot of switchblades. I'll show you switchblade in a minute. I like when I have new people on the channel and I can interest them in this stuff. My switchblades are here. Um, so the uh, the fact is, Benchmade Benchmade has lost the plot, and there's other companies that are American made that are doing it better. Microtech doing it cheaper, doing it better. There's an OTF switchblade. There's another one. These are both Microtechs. So same company I was talking about that have lowered their prices. This is the Microtech Ultratech. Bro, I'm not a puppy. I don't do stupid human tricks. So those live in here. I also have got a gravity knife, which is really similar to a switchblade. So there's those, and then I have another. You guys want to know how I stockpile cardboard to test? This is all just here for testing purposes, so that when I get a knife that I haven't cut tested with, I can see how well it cuts and see if it binds up in cardboard. Cardboard's a really good way of testing, but this is also a switchblade. And then I have a very expensive. You guys want to see a hidden switchblade? I got some new people here. This is fun. Where'd I put my knife case? I have a very expensive. Yeah, if you want to look up tricks. Yeah, I don't. In my knife, in this case here, I have got a very expensive custom made knife. Sorry if it's shaky, I'm not on a tripod. So this is a matte disc and custom, but what it's got going for it is you can use it like a regular knife, and then it's got a hidden switchblade mechanism. And guys, if you haven't dropped a like, there's 43 of you here. If you haven't dropped a like, I'd appreciate it. It gets us further up the algorithm. I have so many knives. Those are all my knives. Those are all my knives. These are all knives. That's 2 rolls of knives. There's knives in each one of these. These are all knives. 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 Everywhere you look, there's knives out here in my studio. So, but I'm not filming today. I'm not going to film today. I just decided I was going to do this. There wasn't a video that went up. There was no video that went up today, and I'm going to tell you why, because I work nights and I forget what day of the week it is sometimes. There was supposed to be a video that went up today, a scheduled video. Do I have throwing knives? No, because it's like anybody who's in the military will tell you the dumbest thing you should do with a weapon is throw it. So no, I don't. I used to have some, and I left them at my buddy's house because he has a target. So I took my throwing knives over to his place. I had some ninja stars and stuff that I'd picked up when I was overseas, just goofy stuff that you get in Thailand and Singapore, and you buy them along the side of the street when you're drunk. So yeah, I have some, but they're not here. So, oh no, what's that thing? That may happen a little later. I have a sword though. That's an actual sword. It's out for the handle is loose. I have to do maintenance on this. So that's actually an actual sword that I used when I took Japanese swordsmanship. Yeah. This is an actual. This was the first one I ever used, but it's got a rattle to the handle and I need to take it apart. But this is an actual katana. I used that for cutting. That was the first sword I ever got. When I took Japanese swordsmanship, I was stationed in Japan for 13 years. I got that one. That's the first one I ever got. Is it signed by Randy Jackson? It's signed in Greece. So yeah, that's the. I have like 60-ish knives right now. Okay, so my wife actually, we moved to this house and I was able to set the studio up out here in the garage. I had that one made. I set the studio up out here in the garage. My wife was like, okay, you've got this whole space. This is yours. You can do what you want out here. She's like, this half. So my studio runs from here over. So all of my studio is here, right? Filming, reviewing footage, taking a break and playing these. These are awesome. These all are playable. I should turn these all on. That's actually a refrigerator. My PS5, this is where I spend all of my time. So she's like, you can have all the knives out here. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. So the fact is that the knives I showed you, that's not all of them. There's still a whole bunch of knives in here. There's a milk crate full of fixed blade knives that's in the storage room. Tons of knives on top of what you saw that's over here. And there's some cool stuff over here. I have I've been carrying my prototype. This was the production prototype of that stonefish, or I mean sea snake that I did. So this is that sea snake that I did with Artisan. There's a drop point version of this hopefully coming through KATSU Knives sometime soon. So there's knives here. These are all giveaway knives for the YouTube channel, for the paying members. I've got stuff stockpiled. I just haven't. Guys, I apologize. If you're a paying member, I apologize if you have not. I have not done the giveaways, and I really need to just sit down and do that. So yeah, that's the whole studio setup. The green screen and everything gets put up. But the nice thing is I can take the green screen down, and then because we don't have a TV in the downstairs, the wife and I decided that we wanted that to just be someplace where we could sit and enjoy time as a family. And if we watch movies and stuff, I've got 2 nice gaming chairs out here. I got a love seat. I got a couple really nice folding, like lawn chairs. And I'm going to tell you, my friend bought me this chair as a birthday gift. This thing is incredible. It's got a footstool and everything. So I have a railroad tie knife that my mom's coworker made for me. I still got. I used to make knives. And I can't anymore. I've had somebody making fun of one of my shorts. Maybe you should have practiced with that knife a little bit before you filmed it. And I was like, it's not a matter of practice. I got so much nerve damage that I can't make this hand work the way I want. That's why I don't make knives anymore. It just has reached a point where this hand does not do what I want it to do anymore. And so I can't make knives, which is why if you watch the video where I took this one apart, it was painful. It was painful to watch me try and put this knife back together because my hands shake so badly. Because I got nerve damage on both sides, but it's worse on the right. My hands shake so badly that I have a hard time getting the screws and stuff in and lining things up. And so I believe my career of disassembling knives is just about winding to an end. I didn't think that I would have this many problems making my hands work this early. I'm only 50. Like I figured it maybe when I hit 60, I'd start having like the shake in my hand that you see old people get. Nah, I got it now. I've got it at 50. So, but yeah, 33 people here only. Oh, I have some really cool knives for those of you that haven't been here before. I've got some really awesome stuff that has been gifted to the channel. This was a gift from one of you guys. I love this. I have a full custom fixed blade that's over at Scab's channel right now. He's borrowing it. It's the Lon Humphrey Custom. This is a knife I made for my daughter. This is like the second knife I ever made. I did carbon fiber handles, mosaic pins. Here we go. My daughter was really into Star Wars with me at the time. I put the Rebel logo in the steel. So this is the new knife that will be coming through. This is the design that I'm trying to get released. So this was a knife I made for my daughter with shredded carbon fiber handles, mosaic pins, all hand ground. So gave up with tiny screws, magnetic tip bits. I have a hard time doing any of that. He dropped a like because I'm cool. I don't know if I go that. Yeah, I'm the coolest guy I know. I'm just kidding. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's coming to the channel that I've already filmed. I just haven't released it. I'm trying to release 3 videos a week at least. The garage door, yeah, the garage door is always open. Like during the day, garage door's open. The garage door's open. The neighbors swing by and stop. My buddy Marco, he's He's a really cool dude. He lives on the other side of the street, so the street goes down and it loops around. He lives on the other side of the street. He comes by with his dog, um, and we hang out here. Fucking roll one up or pack a bowl and hang out and fucking talk about the fact that like how happy he is for his kids because he came across he got his U.S. citizenship from somewhere south of Mexico and came up and he's like how proud he is of his kids, like how well they've done and how like. But that dude works hard to get his kids um, everything they can because like, he's fucking an immigrant that is like really his kids are first generation American and I fucking love that dude. He's fucking always talking about like how mad he gets about what he sees and he's just really he's always working. He's got two jobs. He works days and then he works mids. So he comes home and sleeps during the swing shift and then goes back to another job at night. I'm like, that dude is that's what we need in this country. People like that. Um, how hard is it to shape carbon fiber? I will never make another carbon fiber handled knife. I've done three, and there's a couple types of material that I will never work with again. One of them is jade G10, and it's because when you're grinding it, it stinks. It stinks, and it's really horrible. The other one is carbon fiber because carbon fiber is just miserable to work with, and no matter how good you've got a seal on your respirator, even if you're fully shaved, it doesn't matter what filters. You always still wind up with some of the carbon fiber getting through, and it's not good for you. Uh, you got to have a vacuum running to suck it up. It gets on everything, and it's hard to work with. It wants like trying to drill a straight hole through. It's almost impossible. Uh, you can't because it's so hard to drill through that the blade flexes, and so you got to really try hard on that. And then the other one is Kevlar, the thunder. What is it? Thunderstorm Kevlar, or I can't remember what it is. It's basically Kevlar. I've done three knives in it for my buddy Tino. All three handles were in it, and I had to charge. I told him I was like, I got to charge you extra. Like it's like a miserable material to work with. So what was this? You ever messed with Taro Tough? Yeah, it's just like micarta. I like micarta. Micarta's great. Doesn't stink. It's easy to clean up. Doesn't fucking get all over everything. Taro Tough is basically it feels it works just like micarta. I've done Taro Tough handles one time. I did blue Taro Tough. Um, and when you get done with it, if you don't polish it and you give it a good, like a coarse finish, it feels like micarta that's been made out of bath towels. It's really grippy. It's really similar to this. It's really similar to this. This is a blue, this is a Vosteed raccoon that is in really coarse blue micarta. And the Taro Tough is really similar to it. I'm not gonna lie. I don't get into political stuff on the channel, but I'm just gonna tell you that there was a point where they were disrespecting things that I'd absolutely wrote a check up to, and including my life to protect. And I stopped watching all sports. I really did. I started watching the Marble Olympics on YouTube if I wanted to watch sports and hockey because there was no kneeling. Got to get going. All right, Courseman Will, stop by every once in a while. I put up videos 3 times a week. I got 3,000 videos. You can go back through my back catalog. If you're going to buy knives and stuff, I've got affiliate links in all of my videos. Sorry, I keep hitting the microphone. I haven't gotten used to having a wireless lavalier mic yet. Maybe I'll move it up here in a second. But I have all kinds of coupon codes and stuff. I've got an Amazon store that if you take it, like all those things support the channel and make it possible for me to do this stuff. I haven't said anything about dropping super chats or anything because I know that people get upset about that. But that is an availability there if you guys see that. So it's a pain to do by hand. Like if you've got a mill and you can get a short bit that's not going to have as much flex, like a short. I would recommend if you're going to drill straight holes in it, you use a mill and use a small, like short uh, end mill to do it. So that would be the best way to do it. And then just do the polish and sanding and stuff by hand. I always just did them by hand on a grinder. I'm not good on a milling machine. And the milling machine we had in the shop when I was making knives, I was working out of Fair and Forge Knife Works. When I was working out of that shop, the mill we had was not great. And so it was really hard to get everything lined up because the tilt fixture and the rotating plate just didn't work right. And so I just did everything by hand. So all the stuff I made was just shaped by hand on the grinder and then on a Scotch-Brite wheel. And then I would buff and polish and sand and do everything by hand. I didn't use a CNC or anything for any of the knives I ever made. It was all just hand ground, handmade. Uh, I like carbon fiber because it's really light and it's no slicker than titanium or aluminum or stuff like that. So, um, so where are we at here? We got what else? What's everybody got questions? I was only going to do this for like an hour, so we got like 10 minutes. You guys got any questions? Any of you new guys, if you got questions about like where you can get good budget knives that are available, recommendations for American made knives, stuff like that. Any of you guys? I would say if you're looking for an American made knife, you go with something along the lines of Microtech, Hogue, uh, Hogue, Spyderco. Those are my recommendations. There are other American makers out there, but a lot of times their stuff's like stupid expensive, and it just it has a tendency to just be like no better than. I think right now, if you're looking for something that's at the higher quality level, like if you're not looking for something like a cheap, like the benchmade bug out should be like a $40 knife. I'm telling you right now, the benchmade bug out is no better than some garbage knives that are being done by other companies at a much lower price point. It really isn't. Um, but Microtech's putting out really good quality. They're at the, like I say $302, like $300 range is like the mid range for knives, but you're talking to a guy that has bought knives that cost $1,000, $2,000. So you can really get deep into the North Mountain Blade. Been looking to try a brand new one. It caught my eye. I have not heard of them. Um, so there's a lot of price points. I make a budget fixed. I have a budget fixed blade that's on the market. Like I said, this is the Artisan Sea Snake. This is about a $40. This is about a $40 little fixed blade knife. Comes with a sheath. I designed this because I wanted to have a good budget knife that was something you could carry and not have to worry about fucking around with a lock. It's really good on construction sites. I got something really cool though, that was a gift from Scab over at Choir Boys Cutlery. This is the Grizzly. That's not a small pocket fixed blade. That's a, I keep knocking into that, guys. I'm so sorry. I know that's got to be loud. So, what's the best budget folder? Ooh, that's a hard, I think right now, in my opinion, the best, if you're looking for something that is in this size range, because this is the mini, I would say this is probably the best budget folder that you're going to find if you're looking for something that's like this. I think that this Vosteed, and you can use, if you go find I did a video about this. It was like, take my money. If you go find that, I did a video about it, talking about it. Go find that video, watch it. There's a purchase link in there that I think does have a discount built in. But this thing is like about $60. And it's probably one of the best budget folding knives. I wear triple XL gloves. It's a smaller knife, but I still can get a comfortable grip on it. And I think it's better. I think it's better than the full-size version of the same knife, which this is the full-size version. But either way, you can find my link to Vosteed knives in that video, and you can pick up either the full-size or the mini. And just to give you a perspective, let's set them side by side here. We'll set them on my chair. Should be able to see. To give you a perspective, you're not giving up anything with the mini, really, except for just maybe maybe an inch, maybe a little bit of thickness. But I'm going to tell you, this is right now, I think this is one of the best budget knives on the market. It's the mini nightshade. Like I said, you can find that video. I think it went up Friday. I think that was a video that I put up Friday. So it's not that far to find. You can find it. It's in my string of videos. It's got the here, take my money, and it's like the best mini folder. Lightning OTF. Lightning OTF are garbage. If you're gonna get an OTF, there's a couple companies that do good ones at a lower price. Hogue has some good ones, and they're American made. Microtechs are a little bit more pricey, but they're still really good. The Ultratech series is probably one of the best all around. That's what these are. Probably some of the best all around OTFs you're going to find. For something like that, where you need some precise, you need it to be precise and stuff like that. Those Lightning OTFs got a lot of rattle and play that this doesn't. I would say look at those, because like, here's the thing. I've always looked at it like, if you buy once, cry once. Like, yes, it's expensive. However, you're only ever going to buy that knife once. So like this, I spent $1,100 for what's in this box. I'm never going to have to buy another one. I carry it, I use it, but this is like a one-time in your life purchase. Microtech, or I'm sorry, the Grimsmo Norseman. This is a once in a lifetime purchase. You will never have to buy this knife again. I just put it in its case because I was carrying it so much that I was going to wind up needing a new blade eventually. So I would not suggest either one. There's other knives out there that are comparable for, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get this out of here. I screwed up and there we go. Closed it with the lanyard in it. Yeah, they do. Except they don't have a dagger or bayonet style blade. Microtech has an Ultratech dagger, because I've owned one, and they also have a bayonet style of this and a drop point. This is just the one that I like better because, oh, talking about the SOS. Sorry. I keep getting notifications from work that there was a power outage and stuff like that, because we're on Teams, and I haven't put it on time on I didn't put it on sleep mode. I do know. Okay, so I think Medford made an OTF. Now, I don't like Greg Medford at all. I don't like Greg Medford at all. I don't like him as a person. I don't like his designs, but his machining and his manufacturing is top notch. So that will tell me that if it's a blade shape I like, in a format I like, I'm probably going to like that fucking OTF. I don't really like OTFs because they're not practical. They're fun. They're fidgety and fun. But as far as, like, if Greg Medford is going to start making OTFs, there are probably going to be some of the OTFs out there. Thoughts on benchmade knives? I've been saying it since the very beginning, 58 minutes ago. I think they're overpriced and they've lost their minds, and their quality control has went to shit over the years. So that's just a recap of what we talked about earlier. I won't ever buy a benchmade knife again. Max Ace has a reasonable priced OTF as well. I think that the Max Ace stuff is made in Italy. Is it? I have a Max Ace. I can tell you it probably has manufacturing. I have this one and it's not on there. Anybody know where Max Ace is made? I can't remember. But if Greg's going to start making OTFs, they're probably going to be some of the best out there. Because I'll tell you, I don't like Greg, but when Greg was making knives for Mick Strider, those were the best Striders that were ever made. I'm going to tell you right now, those were the best production Striders ever. So That's one of the things where I'm conflicted. I don't like telling people to go support Greg Medford, but on the flip side, that he makes some of the best fucking knives ever made. Like when it comes to the machining, their designs aren't great as far as Medford's, and I don't like him as a person. However, Jesus, he's got good machining. Like when he makes knives, when he does OEM for other people, they're just amazing. They're just amazing. So, Japanese steel, some models they have new OTF models. Basic ones are F16 and they're average. I don't know. This is probably one of the best knives. This is the best knife. Okay, I'm going to say something. I had a knife made by We Knife Company. It's called the Stonefish. It's still available places, right? I've heard AKC. AKC is an Italian switchblade brand. This is the OAO designed by Tashi Barucha. Now I'm friends with Tashi, but that has no bearing on it. I have a knife design that I had made with We Knife Company called the Stonefish. This is the best knife that We Knife Company has ever made. This thing is amazing. They are almost $600, but I didn't pay for it because Tashi sent me one as a gift. This thing is incredible. It's an integral. This is an integral with fat carbon fiber. Who's Nicole? Is someone here, Nicole? This is the best We knife ever. This thing is incredible. I don't like integrals. I love this. It's lighter than any integral I've ever handled, and it's lighter than most knives out there. And it is just amazing. And I have to put this back in its spot in the case, or I won't carry things that I need to carry. This is another cool knife. They're not available right now, but this is another really cool design. This is a warning button designed by Dirk Pinkerton, done by Beyond EDC. And it's got the button lock is in the pivot. Okay. I guess I didn't see that. I don't even see a Nicole Gilmore. Oh, here's another integral that's really good too. These might still be available, and you can save 40% if you use my coupon code. This is the Ray. This is probably one of the best integrals out there. This is designed by my buddy Dylan Mallory. And this is at Beyond EDC. And if you use coupon code crazysharp at Beyond EDC, if these are still available, this thing is under $300 with that code. Titanium M390, titanium M390 integral. And Dylan did a really good job with this design, but they did a really good job executing. This is the Terramundi Ray. If you go to Beyond EDC Knives, you can get it for 40% off with my coupon code crazysharp. It's all one word, all lowercase. I wanted to get that code set up because it helps them. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's going on. Oh, what do I think about Benchmade? I think they're trash at this point. Angelic Goon, if you rewind back, you'll hear what I'm talking. They've banked on their name. They've banked on the American made so hard that other companies are eating their lunch because they've just gone too far with their pricing structure. So, and their knives aren't that great anymore. They really aren't. Spyderco's killing it when you talk about a heat treat and stuff like that. So, but yeah, we're gonna end it. I'm gonna spend the rest of my day off. I'm gonna go get something to eat here in a little bit. There's a Mexican spot around the corner. It's open 24 hours. It's 1:40 in the morning, 1:49. So it's almost. I'm sorry, it is almost 1 a.m. And I'm gonna go get my lunch because, well, I'm the night shift knife guy. So I'm not gonna change the name of the channel, but that's kind of gonna be the direction we're going. It's like so. Night Shift Knife Guy is going to sign off here in a minute. Anybody got any last minute questions? Oh, I put a link in a short that I did about this little bit driver. If you guys are interested in these, there's not a lot of these available still. I think they're selling out quick. These things are really cool if you need a little multi-bit driver that you can carry in your pocket. It locks, it's magnetic, it's got a nice little pocket clip. Check it out. I have a link to this in the short for that video. You can go check it out. I think it's really cool. I have a video that I just filmed about it yesterday on my day off. Oh, hi, Nicole Gilmore. I see you there. I didn't see your questions. I'm sorry. I would have answered them if I'd seen them. So you can check it out. But if you need a good flashlight, you can also pick up flashlights there. It's Olight. So this is probably my favorite little flashlight, little EDC flashlight now. The Arcfeld with the UV. It's a great little knife. And if you have a dog, it's easy to check and see if he piddled. Because our dog is never marked anywhere in the house except the downstairs bathroom. He's twice now peed on the toilet, and I think it's because that's where we pee, and he thinks that that's an acceptable place, and he can smell it, and he's peed on that toilet twice, and I think it's been our fault that we just didn't get the door open. So I put one of those magnetic closure screen doors, and so when I'm home, I just leave that open. So, well, if you're going to do it, ut my link because it's an affiliate link, and I make a little bit of money. My allergies are killing me, guys. I have not put any jazz cabbage in the glass saxophone yet, and my eyes are already really red. So train him to use it later. No, he's got the whole yard. So it's just, he's been a really good boy. He's a little over a year old now. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna sign off of here. This has been really fun. I guarantee we had a lot of engagement. I did get a troll, but you know, I apologize. I had to deal with that while you guys were on here, but it happens. So Night Shift Knife Guy is going to sign off. Guys, I love y'all. Take it easy. I will see you all. There will be a video. I'll make sure I have a video scheduled for Wednesday. I'm sorry one didn't go up today, but like I said, I work nights. I have no idea what day of the week it is half the time. So I love y'all. I'll see you later. Take it easy.